wait a second. And, Frampton, he's just as amazing as ever, just an amazing guitar player. And then we got to see Skynyrd the other night, and those guys, they must have made a deal with somebody because they're playing like they're 20 years old.
Oh, it's amazing.
Have you seen them lately? Have you seen Skynyrd lately?
About a year ago. Yeah.
You gotta go. You gotta see them now.
They're great.
Yeah. I think the last time I saw them, I think it was 91, 92.
Oh, you got
to
you got to see them now. They're possessed. I don't know what's going on there. I'm gonna start going into their catering and seeing what the hell they're eating in there because I want some of it. But I'm telling you, LYNYRD SKYNYRD is, and I think they've been re-energized now with there's been a whole new awareness for Skynyrd.
Oh yeah.
And people are appreciating their story and their longevity, and their music is, who doesn't know Freebird? I mean,
and they're big in California. There's a misconception that it's a southern
they're big.
band.
They're big everywhere, and lots of teenagers now. Freebird is a big song. It still has a lot of great meaning.
For all ages. Freebird.
It is.
I mean, I don't know of any of our listeners that don't know Freebird.
I think we're seeing now, Skynyrd grandbaby fans that are showing up there.
Hey, Vance, man, we're up against a break. I'm glad you got through, man. I'm so glad you called.
I'm looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday, Tommy. I hope you can come by the station.
Where are you playing? Where are you going to be Tuesday? What venue? What?
Macon Coliseum.
Macon Coliseum.
Yep.
Stop by Q106, Tommy.
I will if we're in town early. Are we, Keith? Keith says we're going to be. He's doing his hand sideways, like we're not sure. If we're there in town, early enough, we'll get by there, Vance.
Beautiful.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
We'll see you guys later.
Our number is 800-762-5825 for Tommy Shaw. We'll take a break. Don't go away.
If you have a question for tonight's guest, call 1-800-ROCK-TALK. That's 1-800-762-5825, toll free. Make sure your radio is off once you get on the air. This will avoid confusion with our delay.
This is a test of the stereophonic quality of your hi-fi. In front of me, I have a six-pack of Bud Light long neck bottles. The left front bottle. The left rear bottle. The right front bottle. The right rear bottle. Center. Right front. Left rear. Left front. Right rear. Center. And now, in succession. And now, a 12-pack. This has been a test of your hi-fi. Brought to you by Bud Light Beer, in long neck bottles, of course. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you ready to feel the noise? Are you ready to rock? Then crank it up to 11.
It's Monsters of Rock!
Monsters of Rock. 35 huge hits on 2 CDs and 2 cassettes. Featuring Warren.
Call 1-800-669-7733.
Twisted Sister.
Think of the memories you and the wife will have putting the kids to bed by this one.
Winger.
Call 1-800-669-7733.
Whitesnake.
Can you believe an 8-track copy of this is worth $4,000?
Cinderella.
Call now, 1-800-669-7733.
Fresh delivery available!
Listen to this guy right here. He knows.
Get Monsters of Rock.
Now.
This 35-track collection is not sold in stores.
If you like blues, if you like soul, if you like the original real rock and roll, then this is the album for you. Classics from the Roadhouse. 40 of the all-time greatest blues and R&B recordings, digitally remastered on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Been snooping around my door.
Get Classics from the Roadhouse. More than 2 full hours of rock and Roadhouse music. And you'll also get a 32-page booklet filled with photos, facts, and legends of the blues.
Rock me, baby. Rock me all night long. Got my mojo working.
So get your mojo working. Grab a credit card and get to the phone, because Classics from the Roadhouse is not sold in stores.
So order Classics from the Roadhouse and the 32-page booklet for $26.95 for 2 CDs, $21.95 for 2 cassettes. Call this number, 800-424-3400. 800-424-3400. Call now.
Hello and welcome to the Albert Hall.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Anything you want to do, man.
I need to practice this stuff. There might be some damn Yankees happening.
Now, the damn Yankees. Now, the only thing you don't have, as far as what I've read, is a record label. You have things ready, right?
Well, there's 4 guys in damn Yankees, and so everybody's got to agree on where we're going to go record label wise. But we have offers.
I imagine you do. I couldn't understand after the second album, which really rocked. Don't Tread on Me. I can't remember all the songs that were on there. It seemed like radio promotion from Warner Brothers just kind of dropped, and it was the first album. They were all for you. They were calling the radio stations. It seemed like when the second one came out, they just weren't pushing it. Maybe that's my impression as a program director back then.
Yeah, things were starting to change around the second. That was still a gold album.
Yeah, it had 2-3 radio hits on it.
Yeah, and then after that, we decided to take a break with Damn Yankees, and then I did a record with Jack Blades called Shaw Blades. Well, the record was called Hallucination, and that's when everything really changed, because our champion there at Warner Brothers, who signed us after everybody on the East Coast turned Damn Yankees down, Michael Austin, left Warner Brothers with his father, Mo Austin, and they started DreamWorks Records. And so suddenly we were really without, we were dropped off at the doorstep there with a note going, yeah, y'all want to do something with this?
Oh, man.
And there's one of those things that have happened. It never happened to me before, but, you really got to have a champion at a label, somebody who's in there fighting for you.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're ready for the damn Yankees. We're ready for STYX and Tommy Shaw. In fact, we have another break we have to do soon. We have about 6 minutes or even longer if you want to. I feel this is a good time before we go back to the phone. Play whatever you want.
Down in the West Texas. All right. It's getting late. Sorry. I used to like to walk the straight and narrow line. I used to think that everything was fine. I like that song, though. Sometimes I'd sit and gaze for days through sleepless dreams, all alone and trapped in time. All alone and trapped in time. Well, tell me where I'm going. I don't know where I've been. Tell me, won't you tell me, and then tell me again. My heart is breaking, my body's aching, and I don't know where to go. So tell me, won't you tell me? I've just got to know, Crystal Ball. There's so many things I need to know, Crystal Ball. There's so many things I've got to know, Crystal Ball. Well, won't you tell me, please, before I go, Crystal Ball? Thank you. Thank you, Marty Robbins.
Oh, yeah. Great emotional stuff. Can't help but hear that and get goosebumps. That's my... All right, let's see. What can that's my criteria.
El Paso or Crystal Ball?
Now, we'll tell you what. We'll squeeze on a call here. Is it line 1 who wants to talk about Snowblind? Yeah, let's go to that line. Let's go to line. Okay.
El Paso.
All right, John.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a quick call with you.
Al, Tommy, this is great.
Rock 105.
Thank you.
Looking forward for you to coming to Charleston here in a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, I want to, but you make $1 million if you'd sell an acoustic album.
I'd like to. There's so many records that I would like to make, and in fact, when I started making 7 Deadly Zens, I almost did an acoustic album of songs that of songs that you would know from my past. So what I started out being was, let's just do an anthology. Let's just get the licenses from all the different labels and put out, because I've made one for myself that I have on digital tape, and it's it's about 2 hours long of my favorite songs. And that's kind of how it started. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll do an acoustic version. Then I started writing new songs, and I said, well, that's that. Yeah. I got to write a new record. But I would love to do an acoustic record.
Oh, the fans will love it.
Are you rough with your equipment?
I'm better than I used to be. I used to be. Keith's all right. Yeah, I guess I am.
No, because I see you on stage. You're running around. You're maybe not
sweating. You're bumping into things, and it's a physical kind of thing, and that's why I don't like to bring the really great guitars out on the road, because they get beat up and sweat on, and it's not.
So you don't take your favorite stuff with you.
Well, you see what we look like at the end of the day, and we're these things are very temperamental, and so yeah, they do get beat up pretty good. This one has survived. And speaking of these guys, my friend Keith,
show it to the camera, because that's going to be on the internet. We're videotaping this, so you'll watch it on my website.
Big dent on my guitar. You put it on there, Keith. So don't be giving me. What was the other one? So I did this one. All right. I thought I had him.
Hey, listen, John. Anything else, man?
Yeah, I want Snowblind.
Snowblind.
Oh yeah.
Snowblind.
Oh, you gonna do that song? I'll tell you what. Before you do that, because that's one of my favorite. Let's do a break, okay? Before that song, because that's one of my favorite songs, and that was on the very last one. That was the Kilroy album, right?
And JY sang that, so I can do a JY imitation. Maybe I'll try and figure this out.
All right, John. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Rock 105, Charleston, West Virginia. Quick break. Snowblind, and your calls for Tommy Shaw. 1-800-ROCK TALK.
Stay tuned for more of the Alan Handelman Show.
Are you ready to feel the noise? Are you ready to rock? Then crank it up to 11.
It's Monsters of Rock!
Monsters of Rock. 35 huge hits on 2 CDs and 2 cassettes. Featuring Warren.
Call 1-800-669-7733.
Twisted Sister.
Think of the memories you and the wife will have putting the kids to bed by this one.
Winger.
Call 1-800-669-7733.
Whitesnake.
Can you believe an 8-track copy of this is worth $4,000?
Cinderella.
Call now, 1-800-669-7733.
Hey, welcome back. It's Alan Handelman. Tommy Shaw is in the studio.
That part.
What's that?
I'm working up an arrangement of Snowblind here, so you guys have to do the.
Okay. All right, live in the studio.
This instant arrangement of. The only reason I'm doing this is because on this Borders book tour that I did, people wanted to hear "Come Sail Away." Oh no, that Lady. Oh. So I'm just like, all right. So I sang "Lady." I'd never done it before, and I've definitely never.
I mean, that's not your voice, but
no, but a good song.
Yeah, it's a good song. Okay, yeah. So do as much of it as you want.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, face you show me scares me so. Thought that I could call your bluff, but now the lines are clear enough. Life's not pretty, even though I tried so hard to make it so. Mornings are such cold distress. How did I ever get into this mess? Now I'm snowblind, can't live without you. Woo, go ahead. 'Cause you're so fine, I just can't get away. Now I'm snowblind, snowblind. Let me hear that. Woo! Oh man, a lot of white folks in this room tonight.
But that's amazing how well you did that, considering.
Well, I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, man, but that's not a song you haven't.
That's actually a good idea to do something like that.
I'm glad you did. Because that's, like I said, people put that album down. Some people do, but that was a classic one.
That's such a great Jay Wise, and if you've seen him do it live in the last couple of years, it's really gotten completely out of hand. There's some things that are just so good that when you're experiencing them, you walk away from it and you just can't remember how good it was. And so next time it happens to you, you go, man, I forgot how good that was.
That's true. And that's with an old show. Sometimes I hear a tape of a show I did, and I said, wow, that really did turn out okay.
And I went the other day, Michael Cardelloni is playing with me, and he'd never seen STYX play before, so I had a copy of the videotape, of the live thing, another CMC product. Brought to you by CMC International.
I know, we need to get you guys as a sponsor on this show.
And so I watched it, and I was like, wow, that's really good. The STYX thing is really, there's one thing that I know, STYX, when you see STYX play live or when you hear their music, it gives you this, and I can't put my finger on what the feeling is, but there's a certain feeling that it gives you, and I got it too, just like I was like a fan sitting there watching this thing.
Yeah.
But seeing JY, he does this whole number, and it's just growing every year. It gets longer and longer, this thing that he does before Snowblind, but it's pretty funny.
I don't want to get into this. We talked about it on the last show, but that was one of those songs that TV preachers at the time used to lump in with all the Judas Priest hysteria.
I felt like sending them all a fruit
it's like
basket.
A devil worship thing. It was about cocaine, wasn't it, to some degree?
Yeah, it was about cocaine.
Yeah.
And it was not pro-cocaine. But what we were in trouble with the preachers were that we were this satanic band, that we were doing these. Not only could we write lyrics forward, but when you played them backwards, they meant something too.
I know.
Thank you so much for thinking we're so smart we can do that. But they sent people buying STYX records in droves. So
they did. They promoted this stuff.
I would rethink that strategy. Well, fortunately for us, my mama would have beat my ass if I had, pardon my French, but if she'd heard I was doing some kind of, she would have, no, it would have never made it to it would have been a posthumous record because they would have found my body floating in the Alabama River.
That's right.
Missing an ear because my mother drugged me down there by the ear and tossed me in.
All right, let's take some more calls and more music from Tommy Shaw. Let's go to Ed, listening to our hometown station here in Charlotte, the Fox. Ed, thank you for holding on so long, man.
Hey, no problem. It's worth it, man.
Hey, Ed.
Hey, thanks a lot, Alan. Thanks, Tommy.
Sure.
Hey, Tommy, I've been a huge STYX fan and a Tommy Shaw fan since like 1997 or 1976. I mean, way back. And ever since you joined the band. And I wanted to let you know that I think Seven Deadly Sins is a really, really good album.
Well, thank you.
I mean, you did a great job. It's like something, you branched out in areas that I never thought were in you, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just something I never heard before.
Yeah, I know. If you ever wanted to see what was inside my head, that record pretty much tells a story. And
well, it came out great.
Thank you. It's pretty trippy. We were just talking about that thing, Need Water. If you haven't heard the record, Need Water is not exactly the typical thing you'd expect from me.
No, it's kind of a shocker.
It is.
But it's cool. It's cool.
Did you hear the thing at the end, the hidden track?
Yeah, the hidden track with who is that female?
That's Counselor Troy.
Counselor Troy.
Yeah, that's right.
She beamed down after she wrecked the Enterprise.
And this is also a cool CD-ROM, so there's a lot of pictures, and it's software to boot. So when you buy this CD, you're getting more
cool
than
package all the way around.
Yeah, so it's finally, the thing I love about enhanced CD, the enhanced CD is you finally have space to put things. Ever since the end of the 12-inch format of vinyl, everything's had to really get shrunk down.
I know, I missed that about records, but this is making it so it comes back.
And if you look back at a lot of the old albums, people didn't really put that much information on them.
Yeah, you guys were always pretty good about that.
Yeah, but
you guys
now,
tried to cram as much in as you could.
Right, but now on CDs you got this little tiny format, and there's volumes of information. The backgrounds on the guy who mastered the record, and there's this, and so you got to have a magnifying glass to read it.
That's true.
If you look at my CD book, there's not a whole lot of information on there, and some people have given me, hey man, how about some lyrics or something? But if you look on the CD-ROM, the lyrics, not only are the lyrics there, but if you play it on a Mac, you can play you go to the lyrics from the song list, and then when you touch the name of the song in the song list, it plays the song.
Yeah, I can do that on my PC also.
Really? You figured out how to do that?
Oh, yeah. I didn't have to do anything weird. It just did it.
Yeah, mine did it too.
Oh, well, see there? I haven't been home in a while.
I think it depends on maybe. Well, yeah, it just popped right in, so maybe they fixed the problem, whatever it was.
Great.
Anything else, Ed?
Yeah, I just had a couple quick questions here. I was looking at your website, and I look at it all the time, and thanks a lot for updating that thing.
ParadiseTheater.com?
Yes. And I was seeing where you guys were talking about doing a concept album, and I was wondering, is that still the plan?
Oh, yeah. It is so good. I'm dying, and I've got tapes. I could bring demo tapes here, and I'd get fired from the band, but boy, it's so hard not to do it.
And do you have any idea, like, when you guys are planning to go in the studio to start recording?
We're taking our time because we've got this thing that we really love, and we're gonna beat it to death before anybody hears it.
Okay.
All right, Ed.
And I have one quick other question.
Okay, go ahead.
When Pieces of 8 came out, I was reading that stuff I read. I don't know if it was true or not, but it said that you guys had enough material for a double album when you guys did that album. And I was just wondering, do you guys have any unreleased material that you think will ever see the light of day?
STYX is very funny about that. We never recorded any extra songs.
Really?
We would work them up, and we had the songs, but we wouldn't record them unless we were going to put them on the album.
Okay.
Because some of the guys are very funny about it. They don't want to have. They like to have control over what goes on the records and what gets released and that sort of thing. Okay. But I'll tell you one thing that there is out there. It's not new, but there's a I think it's a Canadian compilation. I think they called the thing Lady.
Okay.
And it's got the greatest of the early STYX. I mean, like the first 4 records of STYX.
The Wooden Nickel days.
Did that just come out recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
There's a song. Your loving seems to be the best thing that I ever had. Love seems to be the best thing that I ever had. Just a great STYX song.
Awesome. Would you guys ever consider pulling that out and doing it in concert?
I was just on the way over here. I was talking to Keith about that. I said because there's so many songs to play at a STYX show.
I know.
and when it finally comes down to it, we have to play. We want people to hear the songs that they want to hear. The most people to hear the songs they wanted to hear.
Right.
So I mean, we've worked up "Man in the Wilderness" a couple of times, and then there's just not time.
Yeah.
So you'll notice that we'll do like little snippets of songs, just so you can hear.
Song.
So you hear at least us do the chorus of it, because I like hearing it too. We love it.
That's one of those rock anthems, kind of like Sweet Madam Blue. I mean, just one of those.
Yeah, well, one of the coolest things happened, and I've said this before, but not in a while. So when we first got back together, we just recorded the song "Lady" for a greatest hits package. We had to re-record it because it wasn't on A&M, and so we got together and did that. Then we went to New York and played it on the Today Show to promote the record.
Yeah.
And we were in the hotel room somewhere in New York City, and I had this guitar with me, and so I just picked it up and I just started playing. Any old STYX song I could think of, I started playing it, and everybody came in the room and started singing them. And it was so much fun, because some of the stuff we hadn't done in years and haven't done since then.
Yeah.
Born for,
Oh, yeah. Oh, Born for Adventure. Oh, yeah.
I am the thief on the highway. Rich man, you better take something, whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll play that as a bumper when we come back after the break.
Born for Adventure.
Oh, that's a great song. There's some great rockers. Ed, thanks for calling, man.
Thank you very much.
By the way, this whole show is being videoed, and we'll have it archived by Wednesday on my website, so you can not only hear the show archived, you can see it, the whole show, with Tommy Shaw at www.allhandelman.com, Handelman. I want to thank Pendulum for doing that, being here tonight. All right, cool. Let's go to Ken back in Detroit at the Bear, Ted Nugent's radio station, where he's the morning man. Ken, how are you?
Oh, good. Thanks, Alan.
And thanks for holding on so long, man.
Hey, no problem. Hi, Tommy.
Hey, Ken.
I've been a big fan of yours for centuries.
Cool.
I have a STYX question for you.
All right.
With all the vocal talent in the band, how do you decide who's going to sing what song?
We usually it's usually like bare knuckle boxing. No, I'm kidding.
I was going to say, how does that?
They're looking
maybe.
Man, that's
okay.
that's a good idea.
Well, you never know.
No, it's usually pretty obvious who gets to sing it. There's a couple of new songs now, though, that Dennis called me up and said, I want to sing that one. I'm like,
So it doesn't depend on who wrote the song or anything?
Well, it used to, but now, and there's, it really depends on who's going to do the best job with it. And there's certain songs that, man, I don't know if you've heard Dennis sing lately, but this guy has not lost anything. In fact, he's singing better than he ever has. And so to hear Dennis sing some new rock songs will just be a real treat. So,
I bet.
Oh, yeah. So in the old days, it used to be kind of like the guy who wrote it would sing it. But that's not, we've kind of, turned away from that rule anymore.
Yeah, I saw you guys at Pine Knob last year, and I was really impressed. I don't think anybody's lost anything.
No, I'm telling you, the guys can really belt it out. When I first went to the audition with that band, I'd been playing in a bowling alley band with a bunch of guys from high school, and we were doing Dance With Me, I Want to Be Your Partner, Can't You? We're doing like cover songs, and Dan Fogelberg and sitting down the road trying to loosen my load, guys. And we were singing soft harmonies, and here I go, to meet with STYX, and they give me this note, which was like way up in there on Lady, and we started singing it, and all of a sudden they're like, Lady! They were so loud that I had to just adjust my volume pretty quick. And now you know what STYX sounds like, but that first time I heard it, they scared me with the volume, especially JY. That guy can weld with his voice.
I got a question. When you're on stage, especially when at those big arenas, you can only do so much adjusting to the sound of your guitar. You have to leave it in the hands of the engineer, the producer, the guy who's mixing it out in the audience, right? And does he add the two-part question? A, does he add the special effects, and do you have arguments sometimes, or do musicians have arguments sometimes with the mixer because he's not doing it the way you want it? I mean, he's doing it the way he wants because he's an artist too.
What we do is we have our own effects program. You have a certain thing, and it's usually something that is in the domain of the, between the guitar and the amplifier. There's effects that you use. So usually dial those things in yourself, and sometimes you trigger those yourself, or you'll have a guy off stage like I do. Mark Newman does that for me, and so everything is right like the same way every night. But then when it gets out to the board where Keith is mixing right now, then he takes it and he has to find all the textures and find out, he has to create the scene every night in a different room like that. So we rarely are at odds with it. And the thing I like about the guys I'm out with right now, everybody is such a pro that they're their own worst critics with this stuff, and we all know what this is supposed to be like, and so there's really not, maybe in the old days there might have been, when you didn't understand.
But once you have a guy or whoever, a girl's doing that, who knows what you want and can produce that night after night, you keep that person.
Oh yeah. Well, it's we're on like a camping trip out here. This doesn't even feel like touring. It's
little vacation kind of.
It is. We've got such great guys, and I know maybe hopefully they're still up. Michael Cardelloni, who plays with the Damn Yankees and who's been out with John Fogelberg, and is going to be, when we're finished, he's going to Australia with John Fogelberg. He's playing drums, and Tom Lilly is playing bass guitar, and he's also a great singer. And Tom Lilly is the guy in the band who knows how the songs go. If you ever want to see us play, if there's ever any funny thing going on, we'll all kind of look at Tom like, where are we?
Yeah.
And just a great play. And Paul Taylor plays keyboards and guitars with us. Paul is one of these guys who just kind of easygoing and is complete genius on what he plays. He writes symphonies. He writes. He wrote. He was in the group Winger. He wrote the song "Miles Away."
Oh yeah.
But before that, he played with Nick Gilder. Who else did he play with? Aldo Nova. And Paul he's been with Alice Cooper for about 12 years. And so I'm surrounded by great people.
That's great. I mean, I wish I could see the show. Before the end of the hour, we need to list everybody. If somebody can read them, I might. Maybe Marcy or Daniel. They'll do that later on. All right, let's take our break. Hey, Ken in Detroit, thanks for calling, man.
Oh, thank you.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
800 Rock Talk is our number. We have 1 hour left. When we come back from the break, Tommy, let them play. Just let them play. And then continue to call in at 1-800 Rock Talk.
We are now taking calls at 1-800-ROCK-TALK, toll free. Please shut off your radio before going on the air. This will avoid confusion with our delay.
If you like blues.
Zen's Tommy Shaw. That's great, man.
That's the first time I've heard that on the radio.
You know, I was just going to be a bumper, and I said, the hell with it. Let's just let it play. Turn it
Thanks,
up.
man.
But now, it's all yours. The calls that are on hold, we'll get to them. 1-800-ROCK-TALK, 1-800-762-5825 to talk to Tommy. But we're just going to let him go. STYX, damn Yankees, anything you want, man. Just go for it.
I don't know why. Do you like the Beatles songs? I can play my songs.
I want to hear your songs.
Want to hear my songs?
Yeah, I want to hear your songs. Something from...
Okay, well, what can we do here?
STYX.
You see the world through your cynical eyes. You're a troubled young man, I can tell. You got it all in the palm of your hands, and your hands wet with sweat, and your head needs a rest, and you're fooling yourself if you don't believe it. You're kidding yourself if you don't believe it. Why must you be such an angry young man when your future looks quite bright to me? And how can they be such a sinister plan that could hide such a lamb, such a caring young man? And you're fooling yourself if you don't believe it. You're killing yourself if you don't believe it. Get up! Get up! Get back on your feet. You're the one they can beat, and you know it. Yeah, come on! Come on! Let's see what you got. Let's take your best shot and know. Whoa, and whoa, whoa, whoa,
That sounded good, man.
Some fine background vocals.
Yeah. I was just getting into it for a second. I forgot it was live. I was looking at my CDs here. And, oh, man, all the STYX stuff. Do something else. I'm enjoying this.
Let me think of something.
You want to take a call while you're thinking, or you want to just go for it?
This could be the longest night in recorded history. And as for sleep, you might as well just cross it off the list of possibilities. You say I'm a strong man, and I can remember the words. I could last a million years if I just get through this night. Oh, now that's digging deep there.
Maybe something from the damn Yankees.
Damn
High enough?
Yankees.
You want to do high enough? That got a lot of airplay. Maybe
I don't want to hear about it anymore. It's a shame I got to live without you anymore. There's a fire in my heart, pounding in my brains, driving me crazy. And we don't need to talk about it anymore. Yesterday is just a memory. Close the door, I just made one mistake. I didn't know what to say when you call me baby. Don't say goodbye, say you're gonna stay forever. Oh, all the way. take me high enough to fly me over yesterday? Can you take me high enough? It's never over. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, man. So many cool songs. I don't know where to begin. I mean, as far as, geez. Pieces of 8, there's so many great songs.
Yeah, Pieces of 8. How's Pieces of 8 go?
I don't know how that one goes.
Oh, that's Castle Walls. Once on a dream, I'll be on this castle walls. Where's Dennis DeYoung when you need him? I don't know the words, because I didn't sing the song.
There you go. Okay, cool. Let's take a quick call, and then you continue, unless you got something on the tip of your tongue.
Well, there are a lot of songs.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
Okay. I tried to be the perfect lover. I don't know the words of some of these songs.
We're really reminiscing here.
Yes, we are.
You gotta remember, if you just tune in,
the loss
you say,
of memory lane.
all the damn Yankees, all the STYX that's out there, all the solo stuff. All right, let's take a quick call.
How about this?
All right.
I was a loner.
Oh, yeah.
Cruising with the wind. I wasn't looking when you pulled me in. I had to leave you like I always did. You knew damn well I'd come again. That's enough of that.
Now, you Miss America is not your...
No, that's really...
I know it's not yours.
That's really JY right
But boy,
there.
that's another great song. And let's see, Man in the Wilderness is another great one. You already did that, though, didn't you?
No. Another year has passed me by. Yeah. Still I look at myself and cry. What kind of man have I become? All of the years I'm spending searching myself, I'm still in the dark, 'cause I can't seem to find the light alone. Sometimes I feel like a man in the wilderness. I'm a lonely soldier off to war. Sent away to die, never quite knowing why. Sometimes it makes no sense at all. Makes no sense at all. That one I remember.
All of them, man, they ring a bell. Let me tell you. Go ahead, keep going. You're on a roll here. Keep going. Keep going. Those calls are waiting. We're not going to forget you, folks. Don't worry. We're going to go there.
That's, you know what, one nice thing about doing this when there's like in a sit down kind of campfire thing is the fans know this titles of the songs, and they even know the words more than I do. So now I'm like, where are they when I need them? Keith, you have any requests? Oh, no help. Room full of folks. No help.
Too much time in my hand.
Too much time. There you go. See. Here I'm sitting on this bar stool, talking like a damn fool. Got the 12-book long news blue. And I'm giving up hope for the afternoon soaps and a bottle of cold brew. Is it any wonder I'm not crazy? Is it any wonder I'm sane at all? I'm so tired of losing, I got nothing to do, and all day to do it. Well, I'd go out cruising, but I've no place to go, and all night to get there. Is it any wonder I'm not a criminal? Is it any wonder I'm not in jail? Is it any wonder with my sanity. I've got too much time on my hands. It's hard to believe such a calamity. I've got too much time on my hands, and it's taken away from me. Too much time on my hands, taken away. Renegade. Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life. This is going to cost you big.
This is a hard one, isn't it? This is a bitch.
I'm of the law.
Yeah, let's go do the drums or something.
Lawman is put an end to my running, and I'm so far from my home. Everybody. Oh, mama, I can hear you crying. You're so scared and all alone. Hangman is coming down from the gallows, and I don't have very long. The jig is up, the news is out, they fight a devour me. The renegade who had it made, tree for a body, never more to go astray. This will be the end of day for the wanted man.
Hell yeah. All right, great. We'll take a break. Back to Tommy Shaw, and your calls don't go away.
If you have a question for tonight's guest, call 1-800-ROCK-TALK. That's 1-800-762-5825, toll free.